So before we want to get started, we obviously need the ingredients list here, and obviously we have our super moist Betty Crocker cake powder right here. Very good cake mix, highly recommend. You got your icing if you're into that, and then for us today, since we're making a Master Chef cake here, we obviously need our writing gel, obviously. And then you're gonna need, as the box says here, you're gonna need 2 cups of water if you're making 2 batches, 1 cup of water if you're making 1 batch, 1/3 cup of butter for each batch that you're making, and as well as 3 eggs for each batch that you're making. In our case, it's 6, but for you, a beginner, you might want to just start with 3. When you're measuring water, it's very important that when you're measuring water, you have to go down to its level, or else the meniscus of the water is actually going to mess up your measurement. So as you can see sort of here, it'll come down here, you can see that it's just a tiny bit off of the 2 cup mark where we're trying to hit. And if you look at it from up here, it looks exactly like 2 cups. See, the meniscus is the killer of all baking projects. So in preparation for making our Sigma schizophrenic notebook, we're trying to put some baking powder to 2 boxes of cake mix here. We have 2 cups of water right here that we just measured out. We need some 6 eggs. We got eggs on standby here, and anyway, we also have to soften 2/3 of butter over here, which co-chef Jimmy here is doing already. Now, if you'll excuse me, mop this up.
Okay, so I am the creative director of this project. Right now I'm coming up with some concepts for what we could do with the canvas. See, this is one concept. I think we're gonna take this idea and run with it. We've got some other concepts down here. We got this. What else we got? We got a couple
put
concepts.
Grapes in the microwave with the butter?
Perhaps you should, yes. So I think we're gonna take a lot of inspiration from this. I think there's a lot of artistic merit to this.
Creative value,
yeah,
if you will. This is how you would go about cracking an egg. For all the lovely viewers out there, the lovelies who don't actually know how to crack one of these babies.
You can't crush an egg like that.
I know. So what you're gonna want to do is, you see this is a shell right here, and you're gonna want to be gentle but not too gentle with it. So grab it against the side of your bowl here, and you take your 2 hands, you kind of give it like this little grip right here, you pull it apart, there you go. There's the egg going straight in there. And obviously you don't want to get anything on the floor. You want to be quick about the turnaround, obviously. Lovely.
Start mixing. Obviously there's a lot of powders in here and such. You don't want that going all over the kitchen, because then I have to clean it up. So you want to start out low setting, make sure you lock it in down position. Put it on that 1. Sometimes that's still too much. You gotta go easy with it, you gotta keep adjusting. You gotta stay on your toes, otherwise the kitchen's gonna be painted and battered.
Alright, so, working in a master kitchen like this, hygiene is very important. And you're going to want to make sure that both before and after cooking, you wash your hands with soap and warm water, making sure that the scrubbing at least lasts for about maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Enough for you to sing the ABCs, actually. A little trick I learned back in cooking class, cooking school, as I'm a 5-star chef at Gusteau's, obviously. That is hot.
So obviously, as you're going along, you got the blender going, you get up to a nice high setting. You always want to scrape down the edges, because the whisk always mix something. So That's the only con to use an electric stand mixer versus handheld. Like you gotta get in there sometimes, you know. Scrape everything down, you know. And yeah, it's looking good so far. All right, so I'm a professional, you know. I don't use parchment paper. I get a nice spray grease, you know. Right here I got Pam. Not sponsored, but I take a sponsorship. It's great for more than just grease and pans, if you know what I mean. So it rivals WD-40. Anyway, you want to make sure to hit the sides of your pan as well. You gotta do both of them. Don't hold it upside down. You're not supposed to do that. So I'll tell you what, every good chef, such as myself, they always taste as they go along to make sure they're putting out a nice product, you know. You never even want to use just your finger. You want to use a utensil, you know. Raw cake batter, yummy. All right, so time to pour. The batter's all mixed. Now you see it's still dripping. Some people take it off, put it in the bowl. I find that just gets in the way. So what I do is watch this. Take the bowl off. Simple as that.
Whoa.
All right, now for the pour. Now, some people, they call me the pour master, not because I take advantage of middle class, low income earning.
So we're getting ready to start the pour now, and you know, they used to call me the pour master back the Alaskan School of Baking, and not for what I did back in 1999. There were no witnesses to that. So what you're going to want to do here is take this, start pouring it in the middle here, nice and slow, making sure that you're evening it out. Obviously, trying to make, since we're making two batches here, you want to make sure that each batch has an even amount of cake batter in each. Just pour that in there. Now it's okay if they're not both even to start, because you can obviously rectify the mistake later. And once we get down to the wire here, we're going to start using our spatula, our handy dandy spatula here, to get the rest of our cake batter out of here. You know, making sure that everything is hunky-dory, as they say in Alaska, because that's where I'm from. See, we're using a convection oven, so you want to keep the oven door closed as much as possible. When you just let it sit open like this, you're losing all that hot air, your temperature is going to drop, and you're not going to get an even cook. Now, if you're like me, obviously a master chef, I just raw-hand it, you know, I don't use oven mitts, I ain't no bitch. Anyway, put them in. Some people like to go one rack, one on the other. See, this is the proper method. Look, get a better view. You want one on this side, one on that side, or other racks. You want to switch them halfway through. But the thing is, look, the air comes up and through. If you put them both underneath each other, you're not going to get even airflow. Well, we've reached our halfway mark, which means we're now going to rotate our pans. Quick little check on them. Oh, my glass is fogged up there, you know. Currently, we got a nice rise going on these cakes. A little bit of a crack on that one, but it's fine. It'll be covered in icing, you know. You won't really notice it once the decorations are applied. But yeah, they look pretty good. Not too much browning. Yeah. Set them in for another 15. We'll pull them out. Let them cool. And then we'll get to decorating with our creative director here, Anthony.
What?
They're gonna pull them out to check, see if the inside's thoroughly cooked. Once again, my glasses have fogged up. You'd think after 40 years of cooking, I'd realize. Have it baked. Now we move on to the next stage after we let them cool for a little bit. Just decorate them. Well, Master Chef for 40 years, as I've mentioned before. Don't try this at home, kids. Now, if you grease your cake properly, it should just slip out and won't rip. I'll be back with a hammer. I did grease it.
Yeah, they want you to do it.
Here, flip it back over.
Get out of here.
Oh shit. Now, as you can see,
This is a demonstration on what not to do.
You see, this is
it's
actually
delicious.
no. See, this is actually part of the design process. See, this is where I come in. Because we designed the cake specifically to look like this. It really adds some nice character and yeah. So the cake is meant to look like this, and now we're gonna continue the decoration process, and we'll get back to you when these are nice and cool.
You showed me the correct way to do it, since we showed you the wrong way to do it. Look at that. Absolutely pristine. So you have done it the wrong way, there's still time to save your cake. As we've heard from our creative director, there's still time for you to make sure that this turns out to be okay. Even if you're not a master chef like myself and Mr. James, obviously.
All right, so what we're doing here, we want to get a nice smooth canvas for our patterns and designs. So what we're doing is we're making a nice top layer, nice even white icing, and yeah, we're gonna go from here.
Well, Anthony, does it specifically have to be white for any design?
It does have to be white for the specific design that we're going for. We're going for a 1980s kind of retro design, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's also a political statement against, I don't really know, but you know what? We're going for it.
This is gonna be a masterpiece.
This is my best work yet, I must say. All right. Now let's get to working on those more out there designs. So we're gonna start off. With a nice face shape down here.
Now, who would this be?
You know, I don't really know, but just gonna wing it. It's not a real person. It's a political statement.
Clearly.
So let's refer back to our inspiration. What do we got going on here? We got all right.
Oh, that's where the political statement comes in.
Yeah, this is the political statement, part of my art piece here. If you mess up my canvas, I will kill you.
You know, if nobody knew the context behind this, we would be on probably several lists.
No, it's fine. It's a political statement.
Totally.
It is a political statement. And is there anything else we could add to this, Ryan? What do you think?
I don't know. I think we got all the American Psycho covered on this.
I don't know. I feel like it's missing something right in the center.
Could be something.
Jimmy, you got anything?
Raincoat.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, I think we are done. So that is how you make a cake. Remember that's how to make one half of a cake.
Not if you drew the flames good enough.
Yeah, see,
Let the artist work here.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I know I'm encroaching. I'm sorry.
You gotta be a backseat painter.
I'm sorry.
Don't
sorry.
be a backseat painter, bro.
we are terrific people. We have
Okay.
we have questionable material in Among Us.
Here, I'm We're almost at red now. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay.
Please not there.
Pain. Some final details
touch.
in there. Yeah.
Pain.
Dude, he's frothing.
He's frothing at them.
Oh my god.
What the fuck is this?
That's a masterpiece, is what that is.
Yeah, that is correct. This is a masterpiece.
Alright, I say we clean up the area a little bit and then we record a post-cake interview. So this, as you can see, is the final product. Came out amazing. Creative director here did an amazing job. You want to tell us a little bit about each decoration? How about this quote right here?
All right, so this quote represents our ability to just kind of fade into the background, you know, of like society because of the society that we live in. We often struggle to find ways to make ourselves known to the world. And I think this quote really exemplifies that inner struggle that I think a lot of us feel. And here, all these pictures around here represent different emotions that I think members of the Schizophrenic Anonymous group would be going through in
They aren't really anonymous. If you're
well,
saying that you're part of the Schizophrenic Anonymous.
well, I mean, their identities would remain anonymous because they're not giving their names out. So
Right.
why don't you cool it with the anti-schizophrenic remarks, okay?
Tell me a little bit about this axe, because that's obviously not an emotion.
So the axe actually represents, you know, I don't really know.
Breaking down those barriers.
It does. It
society.
does represent
Can
breaking
you tell
down
me-
barriers.
Can you tell me what that is?
That represents the
Imposter syndrome that
Yeah.
America deals with and struggles with on a day-to-day basis.
yes, with other countries, you know, foreign countries such as North Korea or China.
And even within our own borders. you know.
Exactly. Hence the red, white, and blue colors as well. It represents.
What about the black? What would you say the black represents?
I think the black represents emptiness and despair, which I think is something that a lot of members of the industrialized society that we live in can relate to.
Now, if we move to the left,
Uh-huh.
what is this figure? I can't really make it out.
This figure is a woman who has been stabbed in the back multiple times with a sharp object and dumped in a river, hence the blue surrounding the body. Now, this represents the need for females to escape. You know, obviously because we support women here, and no, it's not. we need more female representation in art. I think so. That's why I chose to have this strong, independent, great woman, girl boss depicted in our art piece.
I believe she took the term slay way too literally. Now, moving downwards, this massive face must mean something important. It takes up a large amount of your canvas.
Yes. See, the face represents all of humanity. See, because all of humanity cries when we have to go through our daily struggles of existence.
And what about the caption next to it?
And the caption "pain" is just represents. It just gives further insight into what clarity into what the character depicted is feeling.
What would you say the whole design of the cake is? Like, what is this can?
I think the overall theme is it would be anguish, pain, agony. This art piece as a whole really brings to light those emotions.
I'm really glad we could have had you on the show today.
Thank
Very
you, bro.
insightful. You did a great job. You know, as always.
They don't call you world renowned for nothing.
Once again, I'm Master Chef Jimmy. This is
I'm,
our creative director Anthony.
Master Chef AJ here as well. You know.
That's this week's cake. I hope you can really take a deep meaning out of this, and you can learn not only from the images depicted, but like if you take the images into your own mind and think about them for a little bit, I believe that everybody, even us, can learn even more about society through this cake.
So true, brother.
And remember, if you're ever in the Alaskan wilderness in the year 2001 on the date February 21st and a polar bear knocks on your igloo, you're going to want to know how to bake a cake just like this.
So now that we have gone over the decorations, I believe it is for the taste test now, right?
Yes.
Correct?
I believe so.
All right. Well, we'll get to slicing. Cut to that in a second. Well, we have each selected a piece, as you can see from all the missing components of the cake. I myself picked the I am not part. Now, kind of goes for the whole phrase, but I didn't want that big of a piece. So basically, I very deeply connect with this phrase coming from, you know, masterful culinary school. The only way to really graduate was to blend in, because like they frowned upon you using creative cooking methods, and it was all very by the textbook, and they wanted you to do everything their way. There was no creativeness there. So after I left culinary school, that's when I met Master Chef AJ over there, and he really taught me how to harness my inner creativity that he found in the Alaskan wilderness. And yeah, that's why I chose that piece on to Anthony.
So I chose this piece because I feel that this small piece of the cake represents, I think, the overall message that I was trying to convey with the art piece. In this one image, I think there's little bits and pieces of the other art pieces here, and I feel that this overall captures the idea that I was going for.
Very insightful.
Thank you.
So I picked the piece that says "paw" on it because, you know, it reminds me of my late father, God bless his soul, the great Ramden Gramsci. And he was a great chef. You know, growing up in the Alaskan wilderness, you see, I was born in a small shack outside of Juneau. On the date specifically November 19th, 1988. And you see, my dad, he was a very great culinary expert. He used to make cakes all the time. make cakes with me. And he would always choose the blueberry flavor, as you can see by the color of the paw that I've taken. And this really reminds me of him and how my dream of becoming a master chef and a baker just like him. And he really helped me come into my own when he sent me off to the Alaskan Culinary School, and he really did a lot for me. And this piece really is to honor his memory. God rest his soul.
So RJK289, why don't you tell us why you chose your piece?
Agony.
Okay.
Insightful.
So,
Really.
thank you for
Much
that.
said,
Yeah.
very few words.
Yes, exactly.
Not a lot of people can do that anymore.
It's a lost art form, I think.
Brevity is the pillar of verbosity.
So
Well
true.
spoken. Well, I believe now we will get on to the tasting, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Just chow down.
Quite flavorful without being too overbearing.
Yeah, I feel like the nice buttery smooth of vanilla really complements the butter base that we chose.
And I also think it adds a little bit to the overall message, because I think that the soft, buttery underlying cake part of the cake represents the underlying beauty of the world that we live in. Overall, this facade that we go through. So I think it contributes well to the message.
Yeah, the soft butter flavor really shows you how underneath everything, it can always be smoothed over, very light, lighthearted, underneath all that misery, agony, and pain.
Well said, brother.
Thank you.